where we aim to make A-level biology as simple as a cell. So today we are looking at understanding how people use scientific knowledge about the effects of diet, including obesity indicators, body mass index, waist-to-hip ratio, exercise, and smoking to reduce the risk of coronary heart disease. So starting off, we're looking at diet. So diet high in saturated fats suggests an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, which is why a good way of monitoring the quantity of saturated fats you're consuming is through looking at food labels, as they indicate the percentage of the different nutrients in the food item. And we are also starting to see an increase of traffic light warning labels on food items that we consume, and these often indicate sugar levels, saturated fat levels, and salt, which are all three factors that do have an impact on the risk of developing cardiovascular disease. So obesity has been linked to an increased risk of CVD, which is why we are constantly looking at the levels of saturated fats and salt that we are consuming to minimize the risk of obesity so that you have a reduced risk of developing cardiovascular disease. And finally, numerical methods of regulating obesity are waist-to-hip ratio and BMI. So now focusing on waist-to-hip ratio. So this is the circumference of the waist in centimeter divided by the circumference of the hips once again in centimeter. That is your key. Always keep an eye on the units because sometimes exam questions will give you the measurements in a different unit like millimeters or meters or inches, and always make sure that you convert it back to centimeter so that you actually get the right answer. So a good indication of where the different where waist to hip ratio value should be for both genders is that women it should be less than 0.86 and for men it should be less than 1.0. So now looking at BMI, which stands for body mass index. So body mass index is a value derived from dividing an individual's mass in kilograms. Once again, keep an eye on the units by the square of their height in meters. Once again, keeping an eye on the units. So mass is always in kilograms and height is always in meters. If they give you height in centimeters, which is very common by the way, make sure you convert it first, because if you don't, you're not going to get the right answer and you won't get the marks. So once again, to give a good indication of the different values and how they stand on body mass index is that anything less than 18.5 would be underweight. Anything between 18.5 and 24.9 would be normal. Anything between 25 to 29.9 would be overweight, and anything greater than 30 would be classified as obese. So now looking at smoking. So smoking has been linked to cardiovascular disease, and the use of health warning on packets is enough proof of that smoking does have a massive impact on your quality of health. So TV and media do portray it in a negative light these days, and free support from healthcare systems is available to help people combat their habits of smoking. So now moving on to exercise. So living a sedentary lifestyle, which a lot of us have been accustomed to, does increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. So campaigns and initiatives to encourage people to exercise have been put in place, and there's an increased hours of physical education in school, and once again we have targeted encouragement from the media, from hospitals, and just in the environment around us. So that is all from Professor SNAB today, and hope this video has been useful. If you have any questions, please use the comments below. And if you need any clarifications or any points I've made in this video or a previous video, or like just the course in general, also use the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching this video.